Joe Biden signs the spending bill and says middle class won't pay a penny more despite the analysis. So let's get into the story. So President Biden on Tuesday signed the Inflation Reduction Act, which spends $437 billion on environmental and healthcare programs and insisted the middle class won't pay a penny more in taxes despite independent analysis that says otherwise. I'm keeping my campaign commitment. No one, let me emphasize this, no one earning less than $400,000 a year will pay a penny more federal tax, Biden said before signing the legislation in the White House State Dining Room. The Congressional Budget Office has said, however, that an IRS crackdown authorized by the legislation will impact taxpayers across the board, with Americans earning less than $400,000 per year paying an estimated $20 billion more dollars in taxes through fiscal year 2031. Now, Biden was supposed to wear an anti COVID 19 face mask at the event after First Lady Joe Biden tested positive for the virus Tuesday morning, but he didn't do so while signing the bill surrounded by elderly congressional leaders, such as Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Whip Jim Clyburn. The White House said Tuesday morning that Biden was supposed to mask up for 10 days when indoors and around others. Biden also took no questions at the event, including about the FBI raid last Monday on his predecessor, Donald Trump, a story that the president has yet to directly address in public remarks. The IRS expansion funded by the new legislation is one of the package's most controversial elements. The White House insists that the IRS will focus its crackdown on higher income people. However, Republicans note the IRS is an independent agency with a mandate to go after all tax avoidance, with lower income targets being easier to squeeze. Why? Because they don't got the money to defend themselves. So the legislation is a sweeping policy win for Biden and Democrats and resurrected core elements of his long stalled Build Back Better Act. The Inflation Reduction Act does so many things that for so many years, so many of us have fought to make happen, Biden said before signing it. And Joe Manchin revived the plan last month in the evenly divided Senate, where it passed in a 50-50 vote under special budget reconciliation rules, with Vice President Kamala Harris breaking the tie. The House also passed the bill along party lines. Joe, I never had a doubt, Biden told Manchin at the bill signing event. Republicans and independent analysis say that despite its name, the bill will have little, if any, positive near-term effect on inflation, which this year soared to 41-year highs, as critics said large government spending bills were to blame. So studies by the Penn Wharton Budget Model and the Tax Foundation say the bill won't lower prices, at least not in the near future. The 730-page bill commits $369 billion to environmental projects, $64 billion to extend more generous COVID 19 era Obamacare subsidies, and $4 billion to Western wildfire resilience. It's projected to raise $222 billion from a new 15% corporate minimum tax, $124 billion in new IRS revenue through stricter enforcement after an $80 billion investment in staffing, and $74 billion from a new 1% stock buyback excise tax, and $52 billion by extending a limit on how businesses can use losses to reduce taxes. Plus, a projected $265 billion in savings by allowing Medicare to negotiate drug prices. Uh, the problem that I see with this, honestly, is this anytime the government tries to fiddle with the taxes, the tax system, the people that tend to get hurt the most are the people that are in the middle class and lower, right? If you're a billionaire, you're pretty much never really going to be harmed by the tax code, right? Because you have multiple different ways to avoid paying a lot of taxes. But if you're in the middle class, if you're low income earners, you're basically just stuck paying more taxes for not really any extra benefit, like at all. Let's see some of the comments on this one. Yet another how could it get worse day in America. I'd wager the IRS portion of this has language to the point that if you are even audited, you lose your right to own firearms. That would suck. Where are the price controls? Republicans tried to add that to the bill, and every single Democrat voted against it. Get ready for worldwide food shortages in martial law. You will eat the bugs and you will like them. Klaus Schwab. LOL. LOL. Okay, Joe. Clown face emoji. Per Joe, those under $400,000 per year would not be taxed. Rolling on the floor, laughing. He just keeps laughing and screwing the public. Libs worship these band of crooks. Even when it's proven we're paying more, the Democrats will continue to deny it. Then again, they probably will just redefine it. What a liar this man is. Of course, the middle class, the working class, and the working poor are going to be screwed with the Dementia Joe Boondoggle spending bill. Dementia has grifted so many years he had no idea how paying bills work. People need to remember this, especially those who voted for him. Put on the KY jelly, here it comes. Wow. Another giant bundle of cash for Democrat connected cronies. Literally nothing else will be accomplished by this. It's abject thievery right in front of our noses. What you gonna do about it? Huh? Nothing, sucker. Here's the thing, right? The biggest issue that I see with this is that this is literally, basically, not going to do any remarkable thing to decrease inflation, like at all, right? And this is at a time where like some of your grocery items have increased by like 40% in cost, right? Like personal example, dog food is 40% more expensive for me personally than it was a year ago. Personal example, right? Like, no matter what, everyone is going to end up basically paying more taxes because the cost of everything is going to be increasing, right? Thus, you're going to end up basically paying more taxes, like sales tax, right? More taxes on income tax, more taxes on basically everything. And it's just a sad situation because if you're someone who's living in the middle class or lower class and you're living paycheck to paycheck and everything is getting more expensive and you're going to end up having to pay more in taxes. Oh, and by the way, if you screw up on how much you owe the government, well, guess what's going to happen? Now you're basically going to get sued. You're potentially going to get tossed into jail. Like, how can you even afford that? Right? How can you even afford to fight it? Like, there's going to be so many people completely screwed over because of this whole situation. If you want to learn how to get out of debt and master your money, go to 14 bucks down below.